This article is about Greta Thunberg. She is a teenage environment, environment activist who has become popular all over the world within 1 year. She was even nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. So let's know about her. Greta Thunberg was born on January 3rd, 2003 in Stockholm, Sweden. Thunberg began her environment activism at the age of 15. She started her protest by sitting outside the Swedish parliament in August 2018. Her demand was that the Swedish government should reduce the carbon emissions in accordance with the Paris Agreement. She protested by sitting outside the parliament every day for 3 weeks during school hours with a poster, School Strike for Climate. Later, she continued her protest by sitting every Friday outside the parliament. And for these protests, she used to skip the school on every Friday. These protests were called Friday for Future. She was joined by many other students also. Such Friday strikes for climate were held in other parts of Europe also. She herself is contributing to lower the carbon footprint by not flying. So she doesn't travel through aeroplane and becoming vegetarian and has influenced her family to do the same. Thunberg has been invited to speak at numerous environment conferences, including ones at Stockholm, London, and Brussels. In December 2018, her speech at United Nations COP24 in Katowice, Poland became viral. She said, "Even that burden you leave to us children, but I don't care about being popular. I care about climate justice and living planet." She was invited to speak at United Nations Climate Action Summit in New York City in September 2019. Thunberg traveled across Atlantic on a zero-emission solar-powered yacht and not through aeroplane. Her speech at United Nations Climate Action Summit, "How Dare You," became viral and became the news headlines all over the world. In her speech, she said, "You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I am the one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing." She said, "We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?" On the next day, Thunberg, along with 15 other young climate activists, filed a complaint that 5 countries, Argentina, France, Germany, Brazil, and Turkey, have not honored their Paris Agreement pledges and have therefore violated the United Nations Convention on Rights of Child Treaty. In May 2019, Thunberg was featured on the cover of Time magazine, which named her as a next generation leader. Some media have described her impact on the world stage as Greta Thunberg effect. She was nominated for Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. According to Swedish Railways, the number of Swedes, mean the citizens of Sweden, taking the train for domestic journeys had increased by 8% from the previous year, indicating growing public awareness about the impact of flying on carbon dioxide emissions. Railways linked this awareness to the Thunberg's refusal to fly to international conferences. This public behavior of avoiding or feeling ashamed to take the plane because of its environmental impact has been described on social media as shame of flying.